What's going on, everybody? Today I'm discuss a topic about a real popular, crazy cartoon that I'm pretty sure a lot of the '90s and the 2000 babies grew up watching, and the show is extremely crazy. It's called Ed and Eddy. So, out of one particular character on that show, it's a character that just came to mind. His name is Jimmy. So if everybody knows Ed and Eddy, you know Jimmy, and you know how Jimmy really got down. So here's my theory about Jimmy. Would you consider Jimmy being the weakest, wimpiest, crybaby kid of the cul-de-sac? Or would you consider him being an evil mastermind manipulator? Now, here's the logic behind it. Theory one, on the crybaby side. You know when Jimmy, when he's in utter distress, he cries, call on Sarah, or misfortune seems to happen to him, which in a crazy way do be funny. I mean, this boy, he got chased by a goat, a tree following him. He got attacked by a dog in a anti-proof bubble on one episode. He got his foot broke by a clothespin. Just a lot of craziness that happened to this little boy. And he always cry and act like a sissy and want to call on Sarah. Now, Sarah, would you consider Jimmy manipulating Sarah or just using Sarah? Or was his friendship with Sarah actually genuine? And here's the theory behind that. With Jimmy, I feel like that he knew he could depend on Sarah. And here's the point behind that. Kevin, he just don't give a fuck. Rolf can see right through his shit. Johnny's too stupid. And Naz, she's too preoccupied with doing Naz things. So who's left? Sarah. So it's like that he enjoyed getting other people in trouble, mainly the Eds. And Sarah was always his backbone, always his voice of reason, always his secret weapon. And there's been some episodes where he showed us that he can do stuff without Sarah. So that's in the form of manipulating. Because there's been some episodes where Jimmy, he will cause harm to himself and then cry for Sarah to get the S in trouble. And they be laughing about it while they're getting beat up. And there's been some cases where like he would cause a whole bunch of chaos, but didn't want to play the crybaby. And once again, depend on Sarah. And it's like Jimmy, he was so jealous on that one episode when Sarah was falling for Double D, and Jimmy, he couldn't handle it. He wanted to fight everybody, and that was only because that he didn't have a sidekick. He didn't have nobody else he could depend on. Like I said, because everybody could see through his shit, or they just didn't give a fuck, or they were just too stupid. So with Jimmy, he's been proven he has a very short temper. Like he can go from 0 to 1,000 real quick. So would you consider Jimmy being a evil masterminded manipulator, or would you consider him being a weak crybaby sissy that depends on Sarah for everything? And there's been some cases where Jimmy even turns back on Sarah at some episodes. And it's like with Jimmy, it's like he just have this build up anger where like he want to play the crybaby, but when he really gets mad, and he can basically just beat up 5 people just single handedly in under 3 seconds. So the thought with that is, I feel like that if we look deeper into Ed and Eddy, I feel like if they would have kept going, and Ed and Eddy would be like on some Family Guy type stuff, I feel like that Jimmy would have Sarah drive him to the bank and then rob the bank and then manipulate his way to getting out of trouble, putting all the blame on Sarah, saying, "Officer, it wasn't me. She kidnapped me at gunpoint. She threw me in the car. I was weak. I couldn't fight back." And then Sarah goes to jail while Jimmy's sitting there waving at her, smiling and laughing. So that's the type of guy that Jimmy from Ed and Eddy strikes me to be. What's your thoughts on little Jimmy? And maybe my next video, if y'all like it, I may do another conspiracy theory about somebody.